Hey, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Random Thoughts. I'm a little behind on this one, but I'm pretty sure by now everyone has heard about um, the red carpet interview, from Michael B. Jordan and what is this woman's name's L'Oreal? Sound like a Kryptonian of the morning hustle show. Um, it was Michael B. Jordan doing press for Creed 3, which he starred in and directed. So, um, and I just recently went back and watched the previous two movies. I really enjoyed both of them, but I hate how people how they have is like Michael B. Jordan confronted. It's like it's not really confronting, but she asked him about. She brought up she was asking about the movie, and she brought up like we go way back. We went to school together, and so she I guess in court, uh as the judges or whoever said it's like if one lawyer brings up a different thing and then the opposing counsel takes that opportunity to go into something else, they would say, well, you opened the door for this line of questioning. So she opened the door for that, and he brought up like, oh yeah, I was a corny kid, right? She was like, and I guess was stunned. She was like, I did not say that. He's like, oh, I heard it. um she what did it say? She said she was misquoted. What did she say? Apparently it's comes from a 2021 episode of the Undressing Room podcast. Her co-host said that Michael seemed like a nice, corny guy while discussing his thin relationship with Lori Harvey. Laurel then said, "You know what's so crazy? I went to school with Michael B. Jordan at a point in life. And to be honest with you, we teased him all the damn time because his name was Michael Jordan. Let's start there. And he was no Michael Jordan. And he also would come to school with a headshot. We lived in Newark. That's the hood. We would make fun of him like, what you gonna do with your stupid headshot? And now look at him. Now let's also point out that Michael B. Jordan, I want to say he started on The Wire and some other stuff. So I guess that's what he's gonna do with his headshot. And I know some people have this thing of, oh, well, it's just teasing and whatever. And I don't want to get too far off what I want to talk about, but I'm always annoyed when people bring up, oh, well, it's just teasing. It's just teasing to the people doing it. It's different if you have a group of friends and that's your dynamic, but when there's somebody who's not really in your group and you're like, oh, well, that's just teasing. That's just how we do. You know that you're not cool with them. You know that you don't mess with them like that. You know that you're not really friends. So for you to say, "Oh, it's just harmless teasing," you don't know how it actually affects that other person. The other person may have other stuff going on, or just may not be in the mood to be singled out by people who would have them be the butt of the joke. Because they know not everybody's personality is to snap on other people or to do whatever. Like I said, especially people who aren't really their friends. But regardless, people had felt some kind of way on both sides about how he responded to that. I guess one of her co-hosts came out later, was just like, it's funny that I was the one who called him corny, even though later on Laurel did comment at the end when he finished the rest of the interview, and she was like, okay, well, you have a good one, I guess you're not the corny kid now, and he just kind of walked off. It is one of those things to where some people's like, he was so disrespectful, he was so whatever, and some people were like, he shouldn't have called her out or brought it up, to where others like myself was like, well, as I said, you opened the door. You made a comment making it seem like that you two were cool, that you two go way back. When people say, oh, we go way back, that implies that you have a previous cordial relationship. that, we used to be friends back in the day, that we have some kind of rapport, you know. So she kind of played herself. And it's, once again, this thing of, and it's also the thing that the corny comment. And, I've been seeing a lot of that pop up recently about how some people saying, "Oh, well, I couldn't date somebody like Michael Jordan. He just seems like he doesn't have any edge. He doesn't." Friend of mine, friend of the pod, Kevin, he and I had a conversation one morning, and we were just, sharing posts and just talking about it. And like I said, there was one chick who posted something about, I couldn't date somebody like that. I need a guy with edge. I need a whatever. And my thoughts are, number one, you don't know if he does or does not have an edge. A lot of people, you know, I know this is a hard concept for some people to believe, but not everybody puts their whole personality out for everybody to see on social media. Some people most people, I would say, probably prefer to keep some of that to themselves and only display certain aspects of themselves to people they care about. It's also funny. It's also one of those things to where you see a lot of people saying, "I couldn't date somebody." It's always funny when people say, "I couldn't date somebody like blah blah blah," as if, number one, they're actually in the same circle as that person to even be considered, and two, if that person will want to date them anyway. That's like me. That's like me going like, you know what? I'm not really feeling Rihanna like other people are, and it's and somebody going, "Well, Negro, what makes you think she would want you anyway?" It's like it's one of those. It's like it's sorry. It's those comments are always funny to me, and like, and the whole corny thing to begin with, it sparked up a lot of conversation about what's corny and how some chicks look at the corny dude. Who's that football player? Was it Russell Westbrook? I want to say he's dating, or he's married to Sierra, and he's raising her son. It's basically his son now. It's supposed to be Future's rapper Future's son. They're not together anymore, but he's like, "Oh, well, yeah, he's the corny dude," and it's like, and people say this like, "Well, I don't mean it in a disrespectful way." It's like, well, corny, when you call somebody corny, that is not a term of endearment. And I get what people are saying. It's like, well, then come up with a different word, or come up with a different description to mean, that somebody's a good guy, that somebody's a good man, that somebody is being a better father to somebody else's child than that supposed man could ever be. Or to say that, and that was another thing that irritated me about that one girl's tweet. She was like, "He just looks like he knows what his birth certificate is." Why would you not know what your birth certificate is? It's just certain things like that says more about the people making the post than it does about the person they're talking about. It seems like, and no, and I know everybody has different people that they're attracted to, and everybody's attracted to the same type of person. And that's just what makes us different. Different does not mean bad. But some of the things that some of these people are talking about, to me, highlights, I don't want to say immaturity, because that also kind of has a negative connotation. And I would just say maturity is like, but that's just a softer way of saying that I feel like they may be immature. But just their mindset in certain things, to where, oh, I need this type of person, to where I'm always having to do this. But I guess that's my issue with it, is that they view this type of person in I'm stuttering. It frustrates me because it plays on the notion that black men have to be hard, we have to be hood, that if you're not acting in this particular way, that is you see portrayed on social media and TV as, oh, this is how black people are, that this is who we are, this, yeah, it's, it's just who we are, that's what we do. It's like, no, that is not a we thing. That is how some of us act. A lot of black people don't act like that. I can't tell you how many times I hear stuff about representation or see things about representation, and the representative is somebody I cannot relate to because I don't relate to that image that they have of that, what they think. And it's like there's very few, if at all anything that I see that I would be like, oh yeah, I can relate to that. Because it always goes to something that's supposed to be hood, it's supposed to be kind of tough, that quote unquote edge that we're supposed to have. But that's not everybody's experience growing up. And if that's, and I guess once again, if that's the thing you're looking for, that's fine. Just don't, what am I trying to get to? Don't knock somebody else for not checking the boxes that you're looking for, I guess. Which I'm also not trying to do, but I guess in a way I kind of am. Like, yeah, I guess don't knock the boxes that, don't knock people for not checking the boxes that, you're looking for. Especially if you're not, doing the same for them. Which is another topic altogether that some people, for some reason, get offended. They will bash somebody else, and I've seen this with a lot of men, which, I'll probably do that next. A lot of men talk about women and women talk about men, and, they have this whole gender clash that's been happening. And you will, see and hear people saying, I need this type of woman, I need this type of man. And they're saying, oh, well, that's why I can't have these type of women doing this. And it's once again the thing of like, well, what makes you think that you're somebody that they would want? I don't know. But let me stop here before I go too much off the rails. Give me your take. Do you feel like that he should have said something to her? Do you think he should have just left it alone? Do you feel like it's very, keep that same energy, type of thing, to where you said something about me, but now that we're here, I say something based on, past experiences, and now, it's looked at a certain way. But, some people saying, oh, it's corny for him to have brought something up. Personally, I think it's corny to act like that you were cool. I think it's corny to act as if you're cool with somebody knowing good and well that you're not, or hoping that they don't remember your past experiences, But yeah, let me know your thoughts, if you've never heard of it. But yeah, let me know what you think. Please like, share, subscribe. Check out my longer podcast, Bold Expressions, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever podcasts can be found. Have a good day. Love you.